House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Okay, everybody, remember that one show that used to show on the air, Friday Night Fights? We're not even waiting until Friday night. We got Tuesday night gripes, let's just say. So we have Liz and Gina here from Remax Diamond, and they're not going to gripe. They're going to rant a little bit and everything. But I mean, you guys are advocating ultimately for the end consumer. So let's go ahead and give this some context. Gina, you found a article that was written in the Guam Daily Post, our brethren in journalism, and you actually are quite upset about not the article itself, but about the ideas presented therein, right? So break it down for me.
Well, the headline in the Post from yesterday's paper, and actually it was Liz who pointed this out to me because I hardly ever pick up the paper. I'm sorry to confess that, but it's the truth. Liz pointed out to me and it said Guam EPA cut off water for septic tank violators. And then if you read the article, it basically
Guam EPA colon. So basically Guam EPA is seeking to do that, to take that out.
That's correct. That's
Right.
their objective. They want to they want to revamp the law or change the law so they have the authority. So let's say you have a septic tank and they feel you're in violation. So who are the violators? The people who are over the Guam protection zone. So this is over the water land table. So that's basically Chalampago North. So you go to Chalampago and you draw a line across, it takes you to PD, right? If you go across the island. So from those 2 points northbound, that's considered over the aquifer or the waterlands table. So we basically drill in those areas for our water consumption.
Now, what's interesting to me when you first brought this up, Gina, was that they're not seeking a penalty, they're not seeking a fine. Well, I mean, they are seeking a penalty, they're not seeking a fine, they're not seeking citation. So, Liz, over to you. Does the punishment fit the crime if people should be in violation?
Well, it's not just that. I mean, for 3 years, we've been working on legislation to help the people of Guam. And many of the people over the northern lands, they're in applying for building permits, Guam EPA has denied them the building permit. Now, bear in mind, we have lack of homes. The inventory of homes are not available. Interest rates went up. So we're at a crisis situation here on Guam in terms of people trying to find homes, but then to be denied, let's say you receive property and you're denied a building permit because you're over the water lens over northern Guam. Okay, so if that's the situation, what is the solution? We're all about coming up with solutions. And one of the solutions was coming up with a nitrate system, which we talked about for over 3 years. The legislature was supposed to introduce legislation to help allow for it to solve the problem that we have. And even to this day, Senator Sabina Perez has not introduced that bill. So we're actually looking at other senators to help introduce that bill so that we can alleviate the current problem. Now, there were studies regarding the issue polluting the northern lands, yes, but there were anomalies to this study. And the one of the biggest area of pollution was leaking sewer lines, and not necessarily the septic tanks. So, the people of Guam don't know that they're being treated unfairly and that, yes, there's a solution, but we're trying to have public outcry to say, hey, you guys can't continue prohibiting us from building our homes for land that was given to us by our families. And then we have no other means. Limited housing, there's a limited shortage. The interest rates are up to 7%. What else do you want to do? Instead of helping the island, we're making it harder and more difficult. And we want people to start paying attention so that we can get together to get the legislature to make the corrections that are needed to help the people of Guam.
Gina, I have an idea. I already know the answer to this question, but back to you. Was the realtor community consulted with in any way, given an opportunity to have some sort of mutual dialogue, or is the EPA just like floating the idea like at this point? Because it seems like they're actually working towards that being, as you said, public policy, right? Were you
So
guys Obviously, you
whether
object
they
to it.
ask us, well, whether they ask us for our input or our contribution, we are giving it to them. John Duenas, Monty Moffness, actually, that's the chair and the co-chair of the Realtors Legislative Committee that has been spearheading this since Senator Lee took up this issue. And then we moved it on to Senator Perez. And Liz and I mean, I'm not part of the committee. Liz is not part of the committee, but we contribute whenever it's possible. We've had several meetings with so many agencies, the lieutenant governor, but Jason, what really concerns us today is the way that this article is written. EPA is moving towards the idea, or is wanting to put in place the idea, because right now there's already a penalty. But what they want to do is have the ability, so you're living in your home and you're over the waterlands table, you have less than half an acre. They want the ability to turn off your water service going into your home, because if you don't have water, you are not going to be able to flush the toilets or use your sink and put water into the septic tank. But here's the
Just
thing.
go back to remember what it felt like after the typhoon, basically.
Yes, please, for all of the families that are living from Chalampago to Pidi northbound, and you're not sitting on a half an acre, imagine EPA wanting to turn off your water because they're penalizing you for what? For not having a half acre lot? Because the idea right now is if they do turn off your water and you're sitting on less than a half acre, what can you really do about that situation? Because right now, if you said, okay, EPA, I'm willing to correct it today, show me what I need to do to correct this issue today so I don't potentially have my water shut off. What is the solution? There isn't any, except that maybe could you buy the land next to you and make it a half acre? No, I can't. So what's the solution? I'm going to live without water? That's not a solution. That is punishment. You can call it anything you want, but it's punishment.
Okay, so Liz, give me some insight on this. If they do cut off the water, are they waiting until you remediate the situation, till your water gets? Well, is there?
It appears that they just want to shut it off until either you connect to the sewer. But just bear in mind, how many homes are close to the sewer? There's not that many homes close to a sewer because the government has not put it in. So who do they penalize? The people. And the other thing we want to point out, parental subdivisions, they're trying to do away with that. If your parent gave you land and it's less than a half acre, but it fits and conforms with the law, they want to do away with that. So all of us who were given land and we want to build on it through the parental subdivision, or it is my prerogative to sell it. If I sold it within the guidelines of the law, why are you going to penalize me, take it away, and not allow me to sell my property so that someone could build on it? Let's say I'm leaving or I needed the money for medical care, and you're going to penalize me to sell my parental subdivision lot to another party so that they could build a home. So, I mean, it's really like we're living in a communistic country now, that we're being dictated on, where our freedom is being taken away. So I think the people should take notice, call us, let's talk about this, because there's public outcry to taking our rights away. You know, if you were given land and you can't do anything with it, what good is it? You're rendering it useless. In fact, Gina will probably tell you about Mr. Santos, who was told, oh, you can't build on it. Use it for green space. What? You're going to tell me to use it for green space or
farm the land?
Farmland? I don't need it for farmland. He needs it to build a home. So, you know, it's frustrating, and it fires us up to know that this is being placed upon the people. It's unfair and not right.
Okay, so you kind of basically said at this point, because I know the senators are busy with the budget right now, they may not be able to get around to this immediately, and it seems like EPA is proposing this at the moment. So for you guys, what you want is, if people feel as you do, or if they just want to dialogue with you, reach out to you guys directly, right? And you guys begin to build your case that way.
Absolutely, because we're trying to put, you know what, it's going to take more than 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 6 people. It is going to take the community to step up and say, listen, we've got a housing crisis here on Guam. We need solutions, not punishment. We own our property, and there is no crime in wanting to make money off our land. Our parents gave it to us to choose to do with it as we pleased. If we choose to sell it, and because in the article, in the Post article, it says that it's come to EPA's attention that there might be economic gain here. Well, so what? That is, you know, what is the American dream? To become poor? The American dream is to become rich, to own a home and become rich. So, you know, and the real beef I have with this is, if you really look at this and if it plays out and they have the right to turn off the water, and these families have no alternative, because right now the only thing allowed in the law is a septic tank. And you said immediate. You said that senators are in a budget hearing and they're not going to be able to act on this immediately. Jace, John Duenas and Monty McDowell have been working on this for the last 3 years. Immediate passed 2 years ago. If they acted on this within a year, that would have been immediate action. We're way past immediate. This is the 3rd year. And they've been so patient. They've been going from senator to senator. They've already met with EPA. They've met with GWA. They've met with the lieutenant governor. They've met with the AG. That's how much work these individuals have put into it.
Well, there you go.
And still nothing.
So it seems like, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, watch us. Make sure to just give Liz and Gina a call. I mean, they say that all the time, but if you feel as they do, or you just would like to discuss this more to see if it possibly affects you, give them a call at Remax Diamond Realty. And Liz and Gina, please, at least for the rest of today, switch to decaf, please.
Already done, Jace.
All right, ladies, thank you for the information. This is an emerging island issue that certainly is not over, but you guys have brought it to light, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.